I really do think the Fiber QuickMap is the most misunderstood tool in our range of fiber optic testing equipment. Here I've got a situation where my demo box and the fiber was broken, so I've just re-terminated the connector here. Now what would happen in the real world is that you would be terminating a whole bunch of connectors and then put them in the patch panel while dressing the cables. And then maybe at some point somebody's going to come along and certify those fibers with the DTX cable analyzer or the fiber testing tool. And it's inevitable. Some of those fibers are going to fail. You're not going to know which end. Once you've figured out which end, you're going to have to pull the connector out the back of the patch panel, which is going to be difficult to get to. You're going to try and avoid breaking other fibers in the process. I think you get the point. The point that I'm trying to make here is, while the connector is out of the patch panel, why not test it? And here's how. Grab your Fiber QuickMap and the launch fiber. The launch fiber is a glorified long patch cord. It needs to be at least 30 meters. This launch fiber here I think is around about 105 meters. I've got it connected into my replacement connector here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a test. And I've set the threshold within the tester so that if this connection here is worse than half a dB and the reflectance is worse than minus 35 dB, then it's going to flash a warning at this location here and tell me I have an issue. Let's run that test now. It takes approximately 6 seconds to run the test. It tells me that I got two events here. The first is my connection I just repaired, and the second event is the end of my fiber. I'm always going to go and look at the first event. When I look at that first event, I see that my reflectance is good. It's minus 38 dB. Better than minus 35 is really what I'm aiming for here. But you'll notice that loss limit is flashing. That means that at this location where I did the repair, the loss has exceeded half a dB. Okay, looks like I'm going to be re-terminating this connector again. Just give me a moment, I'm going to re-terminate this connector and we'll make the measurement again. I'm back, I've re-terminated my connector, let's run that test again. And it's not warning me anymore, so that tells me my loss in that first connection is better than half a dB, and my reflectance is an excellent minus 38 dB. Since we're here, let me talk you through the menu setup. We got the backlight, we can change that from 60 seconds all the way down to 50 seconds. IOR, index of refraction, that's going to affect the length reported by the Fiber QuickMap. Really, you can just leave that alone. After IRR, we have feet and meters. If you like to operate in feet, we can swap it to feet. Here we have our loss limit, and as you can see, it's selected as half a dB. And I can change that all the way to 6.1 dB, just in case I was using splitters, or increase it in increments of 0.2 dB. And then finally, my reflection limit. I've got it set at minus 35. I can change that to minus 30, minus 25, indeed all the way down to minus 20. And if I press that, it wraps around to minus 45. If you're field polishing, you might struggle to get to minus 35, but that's where you want to be if you're going to be doing OTDR testing. For any OTDR, you need a good reflectance in order to get a good loss assessment at that event. So minus 35 dB is a good value to have, and certainly for the higher speed applications, reflectance does come into play. So I've got it set at minus 35 dB. And that is the Fiber QuickMap. Oh, just one more thing. Battery life. 2 AA batteries in the back there, and you should be able to get 1500 tests before you have to replace those batteries.